Now, a chance meeting.
I've seen you in our church many times, haven't I?
You're Mr. Sperry, right?
Jonathan Sperry.
With the most unlikely ally.
It's Nick. This is the bully we've been telling you about. Better hide the pizza.
Will change everything.
If your enemy takes a piece of your pizza, offer him two.
Hi Faith Watchers, welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. So today we're going to get it started with our special feature today, which is titled The Secrets of Jonathan Sperry. You can actually find this film streaming right now for free on YouTube. But first, let me tell y'all what this film is about. In 1970, 12-year-old Dustin befriends a wise old man after mowing his lawn. Senior citizen Jonathan Sperry of Devout Christians starts mentoring Dustin and his two best friends. Over the summer, they are indoctrinated into the biblical truth. Faith Watchers, I had such an amazing time with this film. Another film by Christiano, and as y'all know from my last video, I told y'all this is my favorite filmmaker of all time. I just loved his style of storytelling, and I actually do love, like, this is like the second film that I'm seeing right now that is set in the 1970s, so I do appreciate that. I don't necessarily, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with creating films in the times that we're living in and our day and age, but I do have a deep appreciation for films that are set back in the 1970s or 80s or the 1990s, a period piece. I don't know, it's just something about that, I guess, because of the slower pace, the simplicity of it all, and just that it was just totally different, just a different generation of people that just seemed, it just seemed a lot much more pleasant, I'll say, compared to the times that we're living in. So I do appreciate it. I love, like, the scenery here. I love, like, the style, the set that it is, like, set back then, so you can see the difference between the cars that we're driving now and the cars that we're driving back then, or the way that people the decor, the way that people decorate their homes, the way that the women are dressed in these nice simple dresses, and the little boys in their overalls or in their shirt and tie, and just their pants are pulled up. It's just different things like that that I just so appreciate. I really do love, because obviously we don't necessarily see that as much in the times that we're living in. But here we do meet the sweet and darling child Dustin, and I just love his character. He is extremely likable. So it just reminds you of just growing up. I don't know, maybe not for you, but for me, it does remind me of growing up when things were just a lot more simple, you just see, like, the intentions were just a lot better. And Dustin has that about himself. He's sweet, he's mannerable, he's pleasant, he's obedient to his mom. We don't necessarily see, we only see the mom in his household. We don't see his dad. I'm not sure if it was actually mentioned in the film, whatever happened in that situation, but we do see that he is here with his mom, and he does have a deep love and appreciation for his mom, and he does have something there that you can tell that she instilled in him. I don't know, like, if it was done on purpose or she was like, because it doesn't necessarily seem that way, but it just seems like he has, like, this deep desire to want to know more about the Bible. Like, he already has a Bible in his home, even though he never, like, kind of gave it much chance, like read it or different things, because he didn't have nobody to kind of walk him through so he can understand exactly what he's reading. But he does have one in the home. And so when he does meet Jonathan Sperry here, this older gentleman who's obviously lived life, he's been around for a minute, he is a devout Christian, he knows he's walking his walk, this journey, and I guess he sees this opportunity to minister to Dustin and his friends. He knows that he's been given this opportunity to do so, but there are a lot of different secrets that Jonathan Sperry does have that he doesn't reveal to the kids. And I do understand why, and when the children do find out, when Dustin finds out towards the end of the film, it totally catches him off guard, and it deepens his walk and his love for Christ when he finds out these secrets that Jonathan Sperry had. And I just love that. It just just the story in itself, it just reminds me we don't even need all the different things that people feel like they need to do with films or books or any kind of story that they're trying to tell. Like, you need to jam pack it with just a bunch of action, just with a bunch of just stuff going on, which takes away from the actual story, the plot, and it sometimes loses the audience. But here you can tell that in this particular film, in this story, and I told you the way Rich just his style of filmmaking, it keeps you engaged, it keeps you thinking, and it does it in such a simple way that a child can understand and grasp. Like, I would definitely encourage you all, if you have any younger people in your life, whether it's your child or a cousin, niece or nephew, whatever the case may be, this is the perfect film to help, well, just to open that door, to give them that desire, and just to give them, like, take those first few steps or getting to know Jesus Christ and what the Bible is really about and all of that good stuff. This is a perfect film for that. And I'm telling y'all, it really is. It brought so many different tears to my eyes when I watched this film, because there's so many like life truths and biblical truths in here, so you understand it. And it just makes you sit back and think about the whole meaning of life, your whole purpose. Why are you here? And what you can be doing. Because sometimes we feel like, because we look at social media and the different highlights of people's life, that we need this big grand finale to almost minister to people. Like, we need to have a big audience, we need to have a big church, or different things like that. And this film just shows you the way that the story takes place in the character Jonathan Sperry here. He just ministered right where God had him. That made the difference. And sometimes your calling and your purpose is right where you are, even though it just almost seems like everybody is constantly striving to get there, wherever there is. Like, they feel like they need to get there before they can actually minister or share Christ with others. This big grand like platform or whatever. And this film just shows you with the characters here that you don't necessarily need to do that. Just right where you are, your coworker, your friend, or you're in class, if you're going to school, those are all places where there's opportunity to open up someone's heart. Well, to be a part of God, allowing God to use you as a vessel to be a light in someone's darkness. This film really does give you just that simplicity, those small biblical truths that we tend to overlook or forget about in the world that we're living in today. And that's what I appreciate about this story. And the kids here are so adorable and so loving, and just they just have good morals. Overall, like, you can tell, and I guess that's what Jonathan Sperry saw in these kids. Like, he saw there was something there. Something good was planted there. They just needed that biblical truth, obviously, that they did not have. And the way that it just happens, these little, like, I guess, like, I don't know I would call it like little games, or just little, like, these little activities that Jonathan Sperry took time to do with these kids. It was fun for them, but at the same time, it was teaching them the way of the word of God. Like, it was really teaching them exactly, like, explaining these biblical truths to them by allowing them to, like, be involved and to be engaged in certain activities. Not to mention, like, one of the biggest things that a lot of people struggle with, which is forgiveness. And this film does shine a lot of light on that, but it's not like shoving it down your throat. It's doing it in such a brilliant way that you can almost, like, overlook it. But then when you think about it, you're like, oh wow, I see, I understand. And you just kind of learning along with the kids here. And that's what made it super, super fun, because you almost seem like you're very involved in the process of this story. Like, as the story is unfolding, you feel like you are literally learning with the children. You are understanding where they're coming from, especially if you are on the same level as them, that this is like your first time, you're a baby in Christ or something like that. This is like so the perfect film, because it just opens your eyes and just gives you that understanding that it almost, and then it makes you feel like, wow, like, I get it. It's so much wisdom packed into this film. And I just can't say enough about it. Like I said, Rich Christiano's like style of storytelling, across the board is so brilliant. The way that he teaches us so many different things that you can just overlook in the Bible, and he makes it so simple that you can grasp, that you like, oh, I understand it. It doesn't seem like it's just overwhelming and you're just being fed too much at once. No, he slowly but surely just feeds you, and you just have this sense of satisfaction by the time that you reach the end of this film. Not to mention that all the characters here are lovable. They all have their little backstory. They're all kind of struggling with different things that believers on our journey, our walk with Christ, that a lot of us could be struggling with. You kind of get it in the midst of like Jonathan Sperry and also the kids, the boys here. You see, you can find some part of yourself in this film, trust me, y'all. So once again, this film is titled The Secrets of Jonathan Sperry. You can find it streaming right now for free on YouTube. And before we get out of here for this evening, I'm gonna go ahead and get it into our scriptures, which will be coming out of, let's see, Matthew chapter 10 verse 39. And it reads, he who finds his life will lose it, and he who loses his life for my sake will find it. So that's all I have for y'all for this video. As always, please remember to leave your thoughts, your prayers, your overall take in the comment section below, because I do read them all and I do enjoy hearing from you. And also, it is an opportunity to share a word of encouragement, because you never know what your words can do for someone else who comes across your comments. So don't miss that opportunity by dropping your thoughts there. Until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.